Okay, so I'm Shaun and I'm a business owner. I was born in South Africa, just outside Johannesburg. It's a place called Krugersdorp. So life in Africa, it's different to being in a first world country. First of all, like I was mentioning, you have a massive financial divide. You have people who live well below the poverty line, and then you have people who live well above the poverty line. I grew up relatively, I wasn't super low, super high. I was probably in the middle income bracket where my parents were. There was the recession in 2010, which was a struggle for my family. I remember my mom, she was working as well as trying to teach us because we were homeschooled. And then my dad, he was also working full time, and so was my grandparents, etc. It has its ups and downs, and you have a lot of, uncertainty financial wise. And just the 2008 recession to 2010, that's when it really got bad in South Africa, and prices went crazy. And as a child, you remember how life went from being pretty good to just seeing the stress and the worry on your parents' face. And we moved to Northern Ireland majority for education. My mom was originally from Zambia. She was born in Northern Rhodesia, but she came back to Northern Ireland, I think it was the 80s, I can't remember exactly, but she used to work up at Belfast Castle and she worked all over. Then she went to South Africa, she met my dad, and obviously that's where they ended up staying and having my brother and I. But my mom always wanted to come back, and when she met my dad, that was a non-negotiable. It was, I will marry you, but we will be moving back at some point back home. When I was growing up, I wasn't allowed a job. My mom and dad wanted me to focus on education. So when I got my A-level results, I went and got my first job. So my first job was at Ballygally Castle. It was quite a stressful job, because it's quite I think it's a 4 or 5 star. I think it's a 4-star, if I'm not mistaken, the hotel. You could have easily about 100 people in the restaurant at a time, and I think there was about 4 or 5 of us. I quite enjoy work. I prefer to be busy than sitting at home doing nothing. At one stage, I was working 3 jobs, Ballygally Castle, KFC, and Asda at the time, and I think I was doing about a total about 70 hours a week, 75 hours a week at 1 or 2 points in time. I really wanted a company, and I really wanted to do something with my life, so I didn't want to sit around and carry on working at Asda and working the other jobs I'd done. So I actually started the company without any form of goal or anything. It was just, I'm starting a company, I will find something to do, and that's the way I'm going to do it, And by chance, I had a really good opportunity that came up. There is a company in the local area here, and they were in need of bookkeeping services. From starting the company and getting the first client, I went from making nearly triple. I went pretty much tripled my income at that point, which was fantastic. It was great. So the most recent company we started is Lawn Engineering, and you'll obviously hear I said we there. It's my dad and I's company. We started it together. We found that there was a bit of a lack in the market. There was scope for growth. And for what we specifically want to do is, we have a laser cutter now. We're the only one in the town with a laser cutter. So I think, if we're not mistaken, we're the only one within about 15, 16 miles with one, which is obviously, that's great. We have a great market there. We can do all kinds of specialist welding. That's my dad's, obviously. His main skill is welding. He's welded anything and everything. He's worked, for all different kinds of companies. So yeah, that's what we do now.
If you could go back and change anything about your past, would you?
You can live life and regret things, and you can wish you went back and changed things. But at the end of the day, you've got to look forward. You can't just look back, because you look back, you can't live your life in the past. You've got to live your life looking forward. So the mistakes you've made, you've learned from. And the only reason you're where you are today is from the mistakes you made. And you could have made that different decision at that point in time, but it could have led you down a worse path. So live with where you are at the minute is where you need to be, and just keep pushing forward, keep the head up, and don't give up. That's it. At the end of the day, that's what I would say.